A Texas man by the name of Ezekiel Gilbert has been acquitted of murder for killing a woman he hired as an escort off of Craigslist. The two got into an altercation where she refused to have sex with him, and he ended up taking a gun and killing her. There is a Texas law that lets you use lethal force to retrieve property stolen at night, which means if it's nighttime and somebody steals property from you, you're allowed to use up to lethal force in order to get it back. Now, this is what his lawyer cited when he became defending himself for killing a woman who didn't have sex with him. Their argument was she did not have sex with him, but he paid $150 for her services. Because she refused to give the money back, he had the right to kill her. Now, this is how it was explained by Think Progress. The Texas provision authorizes deadly force not only to retrieve stolen property at night, but also during criminal mischief in the nighttime, and even to prevent someone who is fleeing immediately after a theft during the night or a burglary or robbery, so long as the individual reasonably thinks the property cannot be protected by other means. Now, according to the media, a recording of him talking to the police, being interviewed after the whole incident, was played for the jury. But at no time did he cite that as the reason that he shot her. Now, it seems very suspicious that, that his lawyers could make this argument that he did it for this reason, while he did not specifically say that was the reason when the police were asking him why he killed the woman. He didn't say anything about getting his money back. He didn't say anything about being robbed. That's very strange. Let us now consider the legality of this further. He says he killed her because she wouldn't have sex with him after giving her money for that, which sounds like prostitution, which is illegal in Texas. So you're telling me he was allowed to shoot her for not living up to a contractual obligation, essentially, that was already illegal. So wait. You can make an agreement, whether she actually did or not. I don't think she ever agreed to actually have sex with him. I think she agreed to be an escort, and he thought that he was going to get sex out of it. And then when he didn't get that, he killed her. But this agreement would have already been illegal. So what have we learned from Texas here? That you can kill people because they don't live up to the terms of an agreement, an implied agreement that's not legal? Now, think about all the people who say that sexism isn't around anymore and there is equality between the sexes. Well, we can certainly see that's not the case here. The man was acquitted by a jury, which means it wasn't even like a corrupt official that did that, or some kind of, person in the court, a judge who wasn't thinking straight. He got off, what essentially I believe to be got off for murdering a woman who wouldn't have sex with him by a jury. You know what that means? That means believing that he was right in doing that actually came from regular everyday people. So while there is systemic racism built into the system, that's not what happened here. Regular everyday people decided that he was not guilty of this, which means that sexism, and this is sexism, was ingrained in the consciousness of the people who declared him not guilty. And I don't imagine that there was no women on this jury. I'm assuming there probably was, but we don't know. But that's the point here. This systemic sexism was in the consciousness of the people when they decided that. So you can't just blame like one corrupt official. This idea that he's allowed to kill women for not wanting to have sex with him, supposedly, is okay. This was in the minds of regular everyday people. So at this point, how can you really say that there's no sexism in society? I mean, clearly, it's right there, plain for everyone to see. Think about the amount of social alienation that must be taking place for this to happen. How far are we alienated from each other? How far alienated are men from women that it can go to the point where a woman who never even agreed to have sex with a man can be killed for refusing to do it? I mean, this is frankly to me the most fraudulent, one of the most fraudulent cases I have ever seen in my life. Well, let us see this for how it appears. A woman was legally murdered for refusing to have sex with a man. That's what happened here. Think about that.